Hey everyone, I'm Obi Stew, the owner and creator of Duval Ditties. What is Duval Ditties? Duval Ditties is a music production company that offers you a unique look into Jacksonville businesses. I take you into their environment, interview the owner or team, and showcase what they do. In return, I get to collect sounds. I record sounds from their environment and turn them into drum packs for music producers to use. The first business to be featured will be Kollect, a brand that focuses on vintage clothing, original pieces, and sneakers. That's not all, though. They hold events as well, like the infamous Drake Night, where you dress like Mr. Champagne Poppy himself and listen to nothing but him for 3 hours. So let's head to Kollect now, and I'll let them tell you more.
My name is Cameron Mitchell, born and raised in Jacksonville. Decided to come back home and open up a vintage clothing and sneaker store here in my hometown. I kind of do a little bit of everything. I mean, we all kind of wear multiple hats, so it's not like me and Hootie specialize mostly in the social medias and like the in-person promos and like more have our faces out there, like face of the brand. And I'll let you tell what Keegan does because he does not like the camera, that's for sure. But yeah, mostly, run our online business, help run our online business, take a lot of pictures for socials, a lot of videos for socials, and then I do most of the inventory for the vintage. So I source all the inventory and price out everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Honors. All right, my name is Keegan. I do a lot of the back end stuff, so like our online store, fulfillment for eBay, listings for eBay. I handle the most of the production for our in-house stuff, hats, tees, hoodies, crew necks, anything like that. And then try to just make sure we're steering the ship in the right direction overall as a brand and a store. Numbers guy, you can call me, I guess. Um, but yeah, so here's who.
What's up, guys? Collect Hoot here. I personally, like Cam said, I help with social medias and promo. I work on the store design, so I'm the one who helps the store look pretty. As you can see, I hope you guys like it. We get a lot of compliments, and we love all of them. Thank you guys for that. I also run my own brand out of this store called Numa, and other than that, we're just here. Public relations, also, yeah. Street team, one man street team.
And he helps with the events too.
Yeah, event. I'm the backdoor guy. We'll just keys the. Yeah. I do all the behind the scenes. I'm sorry. Quick pause moment. Make sure we edit that. And yeah, man, it's fun, man. I love the store. It's always a good time, man. Come and see us.
I almost had to hit you with the crazy A, yo.
We gonna have to put Cam in there. Put camera edit.
Yo.
July of last year, 2022, July 9th.
So a year and 4 months? Is that 4 months? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's November. So yeah, 4 months. Year and 4 months. Well, I started in the vintage game probably 4 years ago. I ended up quitting my corporate job to pursue this because eventually, I mean, I was making good money with my corporate job, but I did not feel fulfilled with it. So I loved clothes. I love vintage clothing. The market was booming at the time. So I started dabbling with it as a side hustle, and it kind of just took off. So then I was doing it about 3 years full time, just selling on eBay and Depop, and then I basically just had to. I wanted to open a store. I wanted to open a brick and mortar space because you can't really build a brand in the vintage game and like really solidify yourself unless you have a brick and mortar store. Not saying you can't make money though. You can make a ton of money, but you need to like. I personally think it helps if you have a physical location. So yeah, we pulled the trigger. I wasn't even living here. Keegan wasn't living here at the time. Pulled the trigger, and then we opened up probably 2 months after we signed the lease. Yeah, that's that's kind of a long Cliff Notes.
Yeah. You guys had the same kind of inspiration.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I've probably been running my personal brand for seriously, I say in the last 5 years, and then about 2 years ago, right before they both hit me up asking to kind of come in with them.
Yo.
Yeah. They asked me to, come through the store, man, and see what I could do. And yeah, I've been doing this full time for 2 years. I quit my job just to do this full time. Wasn't a corporate job or anything, but it's been really fun just doing it with these guys in here instead of just working for someone else. Doing the entrepreneur thing it's pretty hard. Definitely harder than working for someone else, but at the end of the day, we're our own boss, and that's what I think helps myself for sure, keep going every day. What about you, my boy?
I think y'all said it all, my man.
You sure? I said a little too much, but
Let me tell the story about how Keegan came on board. So this whole thing started with Keegan coming in the picture because I was starting to really sell my vintage Jaguars collection, and I wanted my own website to sell it on instead of just selling it on eBay because I wanted to give it to the people of Jacksonville. I had a tweet that blew up in Jaguar Twitter with like a huge grid of Jaguar stuff, and they were like, "Oh, can I get it? Can I get it?" And I was like, "Damn, I ain't got no website." So I hit Key up. Key built the website out. We did a drop and it went crazy. It sold out in like 10 minutes. And then we just kept doing drops and they were like sell out like Supreme drops. So we're like, oh, dang, well, a demand's there. So he was kind of just shooting the shit with me like, yo, like, would you ever open a store? And I was like, yeah, I probably would. And then he started just randomly sending me leases of like open spaces. And I was coming to Jacksonville one week and he's like, bro, let's go look at this. Like, let's just go see what it's talking about. And we went and we saw it was this location. We're like, yeah, we're gonna open a store. And then he came on on board full time. He quit his job. He was working at Verizon or no T-Mobile. I'm tripping. T-Mobile, and yeah, rest is history. So that's Keegan's story. He's not very talkative. He doesn't like to talk much, and he doesn't like being in front of a camera. So.
I can talk on that because I moved away from Jacksonville like most of my prime growing up years, like middle school and high school. But every time I came back, everyone would say how country and stuff it was, especially coming from Miami. But now that I'm here, I've been here for a long time. I really appreciate just like all that it has to offer. Miami obviously is Miami, so it has so much to offer, and people. It's kind of obvious, but Jacksonville, you kind of really have to instill yourself into these communities, and if you're lucky, which I think Jacksonville can do better of like accepting people, but once the community takes you in, like you're pretty much good because everyone's connected. So Jacksonville is really stood out for me in that aspect. What about you, my boy?
I think one of the underrated parts of it too is like how easy it is to access water. Like you live close to a beach. There's a big river, the only one besides the Nile that flows north, running through Jacksonville. So I would like the accessibility to the water.
I would just say the culture Duval County as a whole has its culture, and it goes back to when I was a young jit, like a youngin. We were yelling Duval at my Pop Warner games when we were beating teams from Orlando and like Miami and stuff. Like we were yelling Duval then, and now our NFL team embraces it, and that's what our NFL team is. So it's like it's its own culture. But like outside of just Duval, like you know, if you know that somebody's from Jacksonville, like you automatically feel like you're connected to them because you come from the same place. Because Jacksonville is very unique. Like we're a little bit behind the times, and when it comes to like the things that we focus on, like entertainment, or fashion, because there's so many. It's like a melting pot of like diversity here. But it's a great place. It'd be a great place to raise a family. You got everything. You got good schools. You got a little bit of everything, and they have an NFL team. So good athletic, good athletes coming out of Jacksonville. Youth, focusing on people that are like looking for entertainment in Jacksonville, looking for just kind of progressing. I would say progressing from, especially downtown. Okay, that's my answer right there. Downtown definitely needs like some vibrance to it. It needs to be a destination where people can go out, people can go grab a nice dinner, you know, have hella bars out there after the Jags game or before the Jags game. I think downtown needs to spruce up its youthfulness a little bit. I know it's a historic district, but I mean still.
Um, I think to kind of piggyback off what he was saying a little bit is just being more like open minded. I think Jax would progress in a lot of ways if we weren't so like stuck in our ways, if that makes sense. Um, because I think people are used to Jacksonville being a certain way for so long that they just kind of got used to it and feel like that's how it always is going to be. And I think we've done a great example to kind of show like what you really can do here, and I think we're doing something special and really building a culture around the store. Um, so just more of that and more people working together.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That last point is, I think Jacksonville is actually doing well. From the past few years, they're building everywhere you go. They're building something, so they're trying to really grow. Now that everyone's, I think a lot of people are starting to move here since the pandemic, but just community, especially like for things that we're doing, like throwing events and just people having stores or businesses and really working together. I think we get lost in, I don't know, egos or ways, but some people we just don't gel well. A lot of people do, which is good, and I love that. But there are some other people who it just doesn't work out. That's all I can say. But I think just coming together and working together and being a community as a whole, like these cities like Atlanta, and I'll just say Atlanta really. I don't know about California as much because I don't know. I think there's a lot of shady stuff going on out there, but Atlanta has a really good culture and they always accept each other and they're friendly no matter where you're from. So that's probably what I'll piggyback on for that.
Well, a lot of people outside looking in that come in think that Jacksonville is very closed off if you're not from Jacksonville. Like the culture is already set in stone, the community is already set in stone. It's like it, we're kind of we kind of like built, like, what do they call it in high school when you have like groups of cliques, there's kind of cliques, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's very clicky. So yeah. Yeah. Well, it's constantly evolving, like any fashion trend. There's things inside the vintage realm that ebb and flow. Like when I first got into it, it was like Disney. Disney was the most popping thing. Like anything Disney would go for stupid bread, and then it transformed into like AOP graphic T-shirts during the pandemic era, and now it's kind of converted into like minimalistic, distressed, old like 60s, 70s looks that these progressive cities are pushing and what people are wearing. So the game just constantly changes. But vintage itself, it's just it's every piece is considered a collector's piece because there's not that many of them out there. And every piece is like one of one. You can go through the shop right now, especially the vintage racks, and we don't have two of the same thing, not one of the same thing. It's all different, and it's all from specific eras with different looks and good graphics.
I think a big goal of ours is to expand the brand beyond the store. So we do these events monthly. We have Drake Night coming up again, November 18th at the Lark. So building that out, building like more of a lifestyle in-house brand, something that we can like hold on to forever, because the vintage is does what it does, but you can't really brand it. You know, someone in here can come buy the most rare piece of vintage t-shirt or hat or whatever, but other than them telling you it's from Kollect, you can't really, you know, brand it properly. Um, we want to get warehouse spaces and build out like production to do manufacturing for ourselves, but also other brands have like creative studio spaces in there too. Um, a sports, getting more involved with sports. Yeah, like NIL deals and license partnerships and collaborations. But I mean, it's kind of endless. We want to do a lot.
It's basically the role now has changed. When I was playing college basketball, student athletes couldn't get anything. They couldn't get any type of benefits from boosters, from local restaurants, from their coaches, anything. Now it's the athletes are allowed to get paid. They're allowed to get sponsorships. They're allowed to get like brand deals, a little bit of everything. So the game has completely changed where you can involve college athletes, which is our target demographic, to sign brand deals and speak to that demographic very well. So yeah.
Pretty much Numa. I want to take it as far as I can go as well. I want to kind of get out of like doing graphics and stuff and do what I really like the cut and sew, and get into some fashion, get getting into some fashion shows. Um, that's truly my passion, is really putting pieces together and showcasing them like the best way I can. And yeah, eventually I'd love to have my own store as many places as I could around the world. And but end of the day, I still want to see how far we can go as a collective at Kollect. So I'll be here as long as I need to be, and we're just gonna take it there for sure.
Follow us on all our socials. Definitely. Socials, IG, Kollect Jacks with a K. YouTube, Kollect Jacks with a K. TikTok, Kollect Jacks with a K. Twitter, Kollect Jacks with a K. Oh, my bad, X. I forgot about that. I'm gonna always call it Twitter. That's what I grew up on. But yeah, give us a follow. We post different types of content on each platform, so you kind of get a glimpse of the behind the scenes, the inventory, who we are as people. So yeah, give us a follow. Boom.
Here I am gathering all the sounds from the shop. I used the Zoom H4n Pro to record all the audio and use different drumsticks, mallets, scrapers, and musical accessories to gain different sounds. After that, I take it into Ableton and start to mold and shape the audio into drum sounds. Once the audio is in Ableton, I go through it section by section and start to turn the recorded audio to drum sounds. It takes me about 2 to 3 weeks to do this, and after all is said and done, I have created 122 sounds with 10 different categories. These categories are 808s, claps, hats, impacts, kicks, percussion, risers, snaps, snares, and texture. Let's check out a couple of sounds from the pack. One of my favorite 808s is the Jag Bag 808, made from an over-the-shoulder carrying bag with the Jaguars logo on it. Some of my favorite claps are the HK clap and the HK2 clap. Those claps came from Hootie and Keegan from the shop. And then my other clap, that is my favorite, that is not an actual real clap. I made it from a Jordan 1 Mocha, and that is the Mocha clap. I really like the Adjust 2 impact. It was made kind of by accident from when I was adjusting one of my stands. One of my favorite kicks is probably Laces Out Dan kick, made from a football. My favorite percussion loop is probably the CTE bongo loop, made from tapping on a Jaguars helmet. My favorite snare is the crochet snare, made from some Jaguars crochet that they had in the shop. Some of my favorite texture from the pack, we have the shop sound. It's the plastic texture. The Hey Hey texture. Eyebrows texture. And the what's the name texture. So after I made the drum pack, I made a couple beats for the team. I made about 6 beats in total and let them choose their favorite out of the 6. Here's what they chose.
What's the name of it?
Kollect.
What's the name of it?
Kollect.
The Kollect pack will be available on my Shopify for $20. There are plenty of free packs on the Shopify as well. You can also sign up to be a subscriber for my newsletter and receive 10 free sounds a month from an exclusive pack that is not available on my Shopify. Thanks for stopping in, and stay tuned for more.